Howdy, everyone. Four-legged plague here. Running a little bit of vintage computers today. You got to be able to appreciate the Windows XP vibe. If it'll focus. Anyways, I'm here because I got something to talk about. And I'm out here in my office right now. And I thought I would just play solitaire while I explain a recent life event. Now, I want to give a disclaimer. What I'm about to talk to you about is not pleasantry. If this will come on, buddy. I know you're an old computer, but you're still better than my piece of crap Windows 10. Accessories. Entertainment. No, that's not it. What am I looking for? Games. Here we go. Everybody remember? Freestyle, hearts, backgammon, checkers, hearts, reversey, spades, minesweeper, pinball, solitaire. That's the one we want. Change the aesthetic. Go with the fish. Alright. What I'm here to tell you about. Since I was a kid, I got to give a tiny bit of background. I don't have a ton of memory left on this phone, so I'll try to make it relatively quick. I do not have the greatest stomach. If I'm under extremely stressful circumstances, I get the runs. Why would I be sharing this? Well, there's some context, and I'm about to get to it. And what does this have to do with dogs? There's context, and I'm about to get to it. Pay attention. My youngest son, not my youngest. Of the twins, I have 3 kids now. My wife had twins in 2023, and then in 2024 we had a surprise baby. My son was having surgery. He had to have tubes put in because he kept getting ear infections. So I was under quite a bit of stress with even a minor operation like that. He's still going to be taken away. He's still going to be knocked out. And I'm not going to be there with him while he's getting the procedure done. So the day before the procedure went down, I was very stressed, needless to say. I started having the runs the day before. Thought, okay, this is pretty typical. But day of the surgery came and went. Everything went completely fine. It's like a 20-minute surgery. There's not even any IVs or needles or anything that they have to hook up to them. They give them a little bit of gas. They make one very small incision on either side of the ear. They insert the tubes, and they're up and running in a very short time. followed by some eardrops 3 times a day for 3 days. Very simple procedure. The day after, I continued to have the runs. And it got worse and worse and worse. And being this late in the year, I pretty much used up all of my sick time, save for like 6 hours. So when I have the runs like this, normally you call in, you eat, rice and toast and applesauce and what have you to plug yourself up. And I didn't have the option to call in. I had to stay there at work. So I'm going to the bathroom and absolutely gushing like every 30 minutes. And my numbers, the amount of parts that I put out of my machine at work, my numbers were really beginning to suffer because I was spending so much time away. This went on for 10 days where I couldn't eat anything. Try eating, toast and stuff like that. Take Imodium, whatever it is. Nothing helps. So that started on the 10th of December, which was actually it started on the 9th of December, because my son had surgery on the 10th. This continued, so it went from that Tuesday to the next Tuesday to the Saturday. I finally decided to go in to urgent care and get tested. I ended up being tested for a wide variety of different things, including norovirus, which is what I thought it was. I ended up getting tested for rotavirus, Shiga toxin, salmonella, a lot of different things that are pretty easy for you to pick up, and some other things that are not so easy for you to pick up. They have to run, this battery of tests to rule out what could possibly be wrong with you so that they can give you the correct medication. Well, they also ran, which, by the way, giving a stool sample, I don't recommend it. It's not, I would still do it again because I had to find out what was wrong with me. But it was not a pleasant experience at all. It was dirty, it was humiliating. People knocking on the door, "Are you okay in there?" Not a fun experience. Got my test results back. Looks like I'm all clear. There were 3 tests. First 2 tests came back clear. All right. I had started feeling better. And I'm like, all right, it was probably just a norovirus. Norovirus came back negative. In my mind, well, my body finally defeated the virus. And so, of course, it's going to show up negative on the test. I should have gone in earlier. Well, looks like I'll never know what it is that I actually had. Then the parasite screen came back. The 2 parasites that they screened for were Cryptosporidia, I believe that's how you pronounce it, and Giardia. I tested positive for Giardia, which is a microscopic parasite that is passed through fecal contamination. And I had to go on a pretty crappy course of antibiotics. Now, one of the most common ways that this, because out where I live, we have well water. And they said, it's a possibility that your well water may be contaminated and you should get your well water tested. Well, someone from the county health department contacted me and said that this is not the type of Giardia that is spread through water. This came either from the infected feces of a person or of an animal. It can pass from an animal to a human. So this leads me to why I'm putting this up. In my mind, what likely happened is you've got these flippin' dog nuts that let their worthless mutts go outside. And when they go outside, they roll in their own crap. They constantly sniffing the ground, vacuuming up diseases and parasites. And then these same animals, carcass scavenging mutants, come into the home and they lick their owners in the face. And then those owners, they go out in public. They're walking around where you and I are walking around. And then they get a wicked frickin' case of diarrhea. And they got to go to the bathroom. And since they're already such disgusting people, they don't wash their hands. And so somewhere along the line, I came into contact with somebody who was making out with their worthless carcass scavenging mutant. And another fun fact about Giardia is that hand sanitizer does not kill Giardia. This is just one of the many toxins, parasites, that can be spread through living with animals, mainly dogs, that live outside. You will inevitably come into contact with parasitic infected feces. And then you'll go out into the world and you'll pass that parasite on to somebody who has absolutely no way of knowing that it's coming. I like to go thrift shopping with my wife. We go thrift shopping, we do stuff like that. Now, if I want to do anything like that, hand sanitizer ain't going to cut it. Now that I know that hand sanitizer does not kill parasites, if I'm going to go anywhere or do anything, I got to be a germaphobe and I got to wash my hands with hot soap and water. Which maybe I should have been doing that from the beginning. But I guess I was still living in some sort of denial that the parasitic organisms that dogs and their enablers unleash upon this world could ever actually reach me. So that was just a wake-up call for me, and hopefully it is for you. And I hope you don't ever have to go through something like that. I'm talking diarrhea 12 times a day or more for 10 days. All right, remember to love the sinner and hate the worthless dog.